Welcome to thetechnologycloset.com. Today we're going to discuss applications downloaded from the Microsoft Application Store in Windows 8. Let's point out some things that you will see and should be aware of before you install any application. First, let me assure you that all of the applications that I've seen so far and have been assured by Microsoft have been vetted before they're put into the Microsoft Store. That simply means that they've been examined to make sure they follow all the rules for installing applications and submitting them, and that the applications themselves do not have any malware embedded or attached to them. Have a high confidence level there. Let's take a look at the applications that I have selected as representation from the store. Let's click on the Start menu and select Store. From the store, we're going to do a search. To do that, we call up the Charms bar and select Search. The first one we're going to call up, I already have selected, is Wikipedia. That brings up the search function. Wikipedia is the first one of the selections. We're going to select Wikipedia. Now, I'm not so much talking about the content of this particular application or the representative applications that I will show you, but I do want to show you the differences in one particular area. Application permissions. This is important. Even though these applications are vetted by Microsoft, there can be other permissions granted by downloading the application that you may not want to have, and therefore you have to make a decision. With Wikipedia, this is a highly recommended application. I recommend it for all families to have on their computer. You'll notice that the permission says it needs to have access to your internet connection. Obviously, you want to be able to get data from Wikipedia. It has to have a two-way communication with the Wikipedia server. This is fine. Let's go back to the page. Search. We'll do search again. And this time we're going to select from the application NASA. N-A-S-A. If I spell it right. There we go. And I'm going to select the first search function and NASA Be a Martian. This is a very good application, very highly educational, especially if you're following any of the scientific endeavors that are happening in the Martian sphere. Click on NASA to be a Martian. Again, look at the application permission. It wants to have permission to your pictures library and your internet connection. Again, this is necessary to have two-way communication between your computer and the server. It apparently needs to have permissions to your pictures library. In case you wish to download some of the pictures, it'll automatically put them in the proper library for you. Again, this is something very good for this application. Let's go back to our application screen again. We're going to look at a third application. This one is Google Search. And you can see we have Google Search here. We'll select it. Select Google Search. Google Search is a very fine search engine. It comes as a side-alone application, not installed with Microsoft. It is a direct competitor to the Bing application, which is installed on Microsoft Windows 8. But take a look at the permissions for this particular application. It needs your location. It needs your microphone. And it needs your internet connection. I question, why does it need my location? Well, in the case of Google, their explanation is it more targets the search that you're looking for based on your area of location. For example, if you want a restaurant in your area, it needs to know your location in order to give you that information. Why does it need access to my microphone? Because if you look over here at the Google page, you have something called voice search. When voice search is used, instead of typing, you need to have your microphone. This is all right. This is pretty innocuous. And of course, it needs to have your internet connection. Now let's take a look at the fourth and last application that I've selected so that you can get a better idea of what this one requires. Search. This one is called Music Maker. Jam. We'll select it. It's the only one there. We'll select that one. Again, it's free. Now, let's take a look at Music Maker's Jam and its permissions. It needs to have access to your home or work networks. That simply means if you have 2 or more computers on your home network, it wants to have access to all of them. It wants to use your internet connection, including incoming. It wants to have connection to the internet. What's the difference between this one and this one? Well, let's get a little better idea of what they're looking for. View all 3 permissions. When we look at the permissions, your home and work networks, the app can communicate with other PCs on your network. I would question, why are you doing that? Give me an explanation. Well, they do not. I only want you to have permission for the one computer that I'm on, not all of the ones on my network. Secondly, the internet connection, including incoming connections from the internet. This application can send and receive information through firewalls. You are giving this application, by selecting this permission, you are giving it the permission to actually breach your firewall. Now, the firewall is designed to protect your computer from malicious software, especially from the outside. But this one wants incoming and outgoing because it looks for information through your firewall. Finally, it wants to have access to your music library, including adding, changing, and deleting files. How do I know it's going to do this? When is it going to do this? Why is it going to do this? I see no explanation. This is a very good program. The company is a reputable company. I have no fear that this is any problems, nothing malicious here. However, I have to make a decision. If I'm computer security conscious, and we really all should be, then perhaps I'm going to sacrifice getting this particular program because of these permissions, or get a better non-technical explanation as to why these permissions are required. You make the call. Well, that concludes this particular video. Please visit our website at thetechnologycloset.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Until next time.